Allen Iverson cleaned up nice. He kept it classy last night. How about that? All black look on Friday night. Gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And the Bitterbirds are here to talk about. Kyle Gaffner is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. This was awesome. The Hall of Fame speech was awesome. And if you couldn't get through it without tearing up, there's something wrong with you.
It was. It was so great to see him up there at that podium. So well-deserving. He couldn't have said anything better. He's so real and so authentic out there. It wasn't scripted. I mean, how could you not tear up? The guy's just he's an emotional dude.
Dude, he was all over the place, and it was amazing. He thanked like 200 million people. He got Tupac in there. He got Biggie in there. He talked about Julius Erving. He talked about who taught him the crossover. He talked about John Thompson, Larry Brown, Pat Croce, the fans. He talked about wanting to be like Mike, which was just so funny as hell. I mean, oh my God, he was all over the place. Rick James made it. Michael Jackson was in there. It was awesome.
It was great. I mean, he probably thanked even his football coaches. People don't know that he played football. He was more recruited to play football than he was basketball, which is insane. But he thanked from everybody from when he was 2 all the way up until now. It was amazing. He gave credit to everybody in his life.
It's funny that you bring up football because he didn't like basketball because he thought it was too soft. And, well, obviously he made the correct choice playing some b-ball. So I wanted to start with the Be Like Mike bit because, dude, just that was my favorite part of the speech. Maybe because I was actually at the game when he crossed the board net. That was awesome. But,
wow,
dude, that's something I'll never forget.
that's
Yeah, I was there. It was awesome. So, he's talking about he's never really been intimidated by any player he's seen before. And then he glazes over Mike's way for the first time, and he's like, the motherfucker glowed. He wasn't even real. Like that was he even had on the Jordans, and that just cracked everybody up.
That was a really funny bit. Yeah, he was saying he had an aura around him. He was actually starstruck. Being a young kid, watching him grow up and play. It was just like, wow, there's Mike, like a little kid running up, just like gazing at him, like, is this even real? I'm about to play my idol.
So, like, before he talked about Mike, he talked about like all these great NBA players, and to not be awestruck by them was kind of funny. And then he gets to Mike, and it was just like, just that was his guy. That was the guy he always wanted to be. And he certainly tried to be like him in a lot of ways, and he definitely lived up to it. That's for sure.
He had a great career. Love AI. He couldn't have went to a better city, I don't think. Being drafted by us, it was just a perfect match. Match made in heaven for him to play here. The way he played the game, the way the fans reacted to him, it didn't matter what he did. He had that awful relationship with the hate-love relationship with the media. As you know, everybody always dogged on him. They took the whole practice bit out of proportion, just the way it went. But the guy was just, a great player, great dude.
Another like underrated portion of the speech that I really loved was how he figured out the crossover. And it's just who it was that taught him it. And he was talking about how he finally put the pride aside. And there was this Georgetown walk-on that, quote unquote, didn't even have a name on the back of his jersey. And one day he goes up to the guy, Dean Barry, and he's like, "Yo, you got to teach me that move." And he had a crossover that was basically beating AI, and obviously AI was known for the crossover throughout his NBA career. And this is where it started. Georgetown University, Dean Barry.
From a no-name guy who was just a walk-on, who didn't even know if he was going to make the team. And that's his signature move. That's all you think about is when you think about AI, is that crossover. It was incredible. So he stayed over late after practices, did everything he could to learn that move. And thank you, Dean Barry, for doing that, because I don't know what AI would have been without that incredible crossover. So thank you for teaching the GOAT one of the best moves crossovers I've ever seen.
Dude, and it's so quick. The transition from the right to the left. Oh my God. Like, just incredible.
fastest guy I could see on the court. He was a lightning bolt from end to end. You just blink and you would miss him play. It was incredible. Tough little guy. He talked about filling the big shoes with. It was funny when he said that about filling the big shoes, literally with Dr. J too. And everybody listed AI as 6 foot. I don't think he was even 6 foot. I think he was 5'9", maybe. Going banging with the bigs. I mean, fearless.
Yeah, that was cool. The 3 presenters were Georgetown coach John Thompson, his head coach while he was there. Larry Brown, obviously the Sixers coach there in 2001 when the Sixers made it to the finals, and Dr. J, Julius Erving, and he was like, "Those are some big shoes to fill," literally.
I only took a size 10, so that was pretty funny. I would have liked to seen Pat Croce up there too, but he gave him all the credit in the world too, much deserving, because he was an AI supporter. He loved AI like a son. I mean, even when the Chiefs were down, it didn't matter. He was right by AI's side the whole time.
Yeah, he spent like a couple minutes on him. So that was cool to see. So he still spent a lot of time thanking him, and then he got to the fans, and I'll tell you what, the fans were awesome because he didn't even get introduced, and he was getting standing ovation already. So he had that going on. It reverberated throughout the auditorium the entire night. They were chanting MVP, and again, it's just like you got so emotional watching this thing. The memories just get brought back to you when you're watching this 30+ minute speech. Just everything you remember about him, it comes back, and it's amazing, and he's just so real, and nothing about him is fake, and that entire 31-minute speech was the epitome of what Allen Iverson is, and you gotta love him for who he is.
And he doesn't change for anybody. I mean, he changed the league even when he came in with the tattoos, the baggy clothes, everything. And I love that he didn't have to change for anybody. Like, that's just you. And the MVP chance just gave me chills, much like when the return of Chase Utley happened. Same thing with this. It just brought all those back. All those great memories just came flooding back of when we faced the Lakers in the finals. And how can we not talk about that step over with Tyronn Lue? Man, that awesome.
Tyronn Lue had AI to thank for his contract. That was another funny bit there last night.
That was funny. Thank you. I would say anybody says you earned that $5 million chasing me around. Well, what would he say? Thank you. And will we know who Tyronn Lue was, really, if that step over didn't happen? Probably not.
Well, we would, but yeah, you're casual fan now. We knew who Tyronn. I always knew who Tyronn Lue was because he looked like he was always a funny looking motherfucker. So that's how I remembered him. I just knew it. I always know the scrubs for some reason. I love the scrubs.
Guys, and now he's the head coach.
Yeah, guys like Slava Medvedenko. You always know the scrubs. You just do. Yeah, so there it is. All right. You know what else was really cool? The fact that he wore a suit, because people didn't know what he was going to wear. They didn't know if he was going to live up to his reputation of wearing the baggy jeans and the oversized T-shirts and the flat brim hats, all that stuff, the jerseys. Well, he went with the classic all black look. Dude, he looked sharp.
He did look sharp. And even if he did wear the baggy clothes, I don't think it really would have mattered. But he's even said it, if you've seen the AI movie. He said he's grown up a little bit from the knucklehead that he was in the past. He said he wouldn't have gotten all these tattoos because they hurt too much, and he wouldn't have wore the baggy clothes. But it's like, that's who made you, AI. I mean, you got nobody to say sorry for. So he did show up an hour and a half late, but who cares? It doesn't matter. You're going to the Hall of Fame. You're awesome. I don't care that you showed up an hour and a half late. You're the man.
Well, because it was practice. Who cares about practice? Practice.
That kid's blown out so much out of proportion, and it's just like dry. And they'll never let it go. The media never lets it go. Whenever somebody talks about AI, they always just say, "Oh, that practice bit. Like, I'm too good enough for practice." But that's not what it was. We all know that's not what it was. His best friend just died that day.
I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'm a headliner, and we're talking about practice. I don't need to practice my speech.
It wasn't. It was all from the heart.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. And speaking of growing up, you could tell that his kids have definitely helped him grow up. He's got 7 of them. He thanked all of them. That was really cool. Showing on hold back tears while he was talking to them throughout his speech. And you could tell, like, you could see the maturity of him up there. Just the differences of him last night, and just differences for him even a decade ago and when he played here. So he's really has grown up. You could tell.
Yeah, and it's awesome, and it was just so humbling as he is. And I hope for somehow he can work his way into maybe being a coach one day, or doing something with being a scout for the Sixers, or something with his organization, just to keep him going, because I think he would be great. I mean, you look at all the ex-players that have become coaches or what have you, but I think it would be a perfect fit here if he was just an assistant or anything. It'd be awesome for him to have basketball in his life, because he can't walk away from the game. How could he? And especially with the way the crowd erupts when he's just around, he gives you energy. It's like, there's AI. Like, the guy solely took us to the NBA Finals back in the day and went up against the juggernaut of a team of Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, and Shaq's another one that got introduced last night. That was funny. He was the only one that was able to put on Yao Ming's jacket. No one else could reach up and put it on his shoulders. Kind of wrapping it up, the other thing he brought up was his soundtrack music. Thanked all those people. Little bass, little Tupac, little Biggie.
Jadakiss.
Almost called Fab Fag. Almost did that. Actually, he did do that.
That was awesome. And that's what those are like, considered hardcore rap. But remember when he made his rap album, he said those guys kind of inspired him to do that. But that's what it was. That's the type of swagger he has. He grew up in the times of the good gangster rap. Now look at it now. It's all trash. But, he grew up with that type of swagger, with the tattoos and everything else in that. And it's awesome. Yeah. I got tattoos because I saw AI. I mean, I got a Sixers tattoo right here. All because of AI. Oh, yeah. I saw AI playing. I wanted to get tattoos. So definitely. So he really had an influence on a lot of people, on a lot of younger minds, and I definitely was one of them for sure.
Awesome, man. That really is cool. So let's see. To wrap it up, for next week, we're thinking about combining it into one, but next week we will talk about the legacy of Allen Iverson leading up to the start of the Sixers season. We got a couple more topics we'll talk about, but obviously can't wait for the preseason. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, watching all these guys make their Sixers debuts.
It's going to be exciting. And I can't wait for basketball to get started again, because it's been a little slow right now, but we're starting to get into that time where basketball's starting. We get to get excited about the young team that we have. It's been lulled a little bit, but when you start looking back at Dario and Embiid, Simmons, the #1 pick, could this be the new era, the next quote-unquote AI to come and bring life back into the city?
It's such a cool time right now in Philadelphia sports, because the future is really bright. This Sixers team and this Eagles team, there's a lot of similarities in terms of excitement for the future because of rookies and young players. So on the Sixers, it's a little bit more because you have a couple young players. On the Eagles, it's just really Carson Wentz. But on this team, Simmons, Embiid, Okafor, Saric. I mean, there's 3 of these guys we've never even seen play an NBA regular season game, and it's just so cool that all of this is finally coming together. And it's so cool that we've been watching this team the last 2 years when nobody else really has. So, like, to go through all that and to get here, it just makes it that much more satisfying.
And don't forget about the Phillies. They're an up-and-coming team, too. They have all them young stars coming, like JP, Nick Williams. We've got Eflin up here. We've got Jake Thompson. So all of those young guys are coming up, too. So 3 of these sports that they've been awful to watch over the past couple seasons. Well, definitely the Sixers and the Phillies. But it's an exciting time. Like, when was the last time that all 4 sports teams have been mediocre or bad, but they're all coming up together as a unit? So they're all going to be winning. So it's going to be exciting. We could be like Boston was a couple years ago when they won all them championships with the Patriots and the Celtics and the Bruins. And let's not forget the Red Sox. So I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to be the new title town, baby. That's right.
Woo! Title town! Let's do it. Yeah, even the Flyers to some extent, because of Shane Gossis there, like, his aura, going back to the Michael Jordan, his aura, he glows. So, yeah, all right.
They've been better. They've been better, at least. They've been the team that you can kind of watch, and it hasn't been vomit in your mouth to watch. They've been, susceptible. They've been very decent.
Yeah, although hockey does make me vomit sometimes.
I'm not a hockey fan myself. Just can't get into it.
Although I respect it. I mean, I like watching the Flyers, but it's just like I couldn't tell you players from other teams. I couldn't do it.
It's a little dull for me to watch. It's too much back and forth with not enough scoring, but at least they let you fight, and it's better than soccer.
I love soccer, but we won't get into that. It's funny. I love soccer, but I'm not as big into hockey, and soccer is even less scoring. But yeah, so all right, let's do final thoughts and let's get out of here.
Okay, final thoughts. AI. What is the next thing you think AI will be doing? Do you think he just fades away from the spotlight?
Woo! I don't know. I don't really see him being like a TV personality or anything. So I don't see him like being a coach or being part of a team so I bet you he won't fade into the spotlight per se. He'll still be making appearances here and there, I'm sure, on TV. But I mean, what could he do?
Well, I know that Richard had offered him a position in the organization. Now, I wonder if he takes that, but he does have that lifetime contract with Reebok. So will he be doing more shoe releases coming out? Does he do commercials with Reebok? But I would love for him, like I said, for Colangelo to hire him just as a scout, something minor, and then work his way up through the system. I'd love to see that. But it was interesting to see if he takes it or not.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has the Reebok bit. He's paid for life for them, so lucky him.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is. All right. For Kyle Gaffner, I am Adrian. Thank you, Allen Iverson. Congratulations for making it into the Hall of Fame. Obviously, much deserved. He's awesome. I mean, my favorite player of all time, Mr. AI. Is
my favorite Sixer of all time, too.
Yeah, it's not even close. So, with that being said, that's Kyle Gaffner. I'm Adrian. Thank you. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed, and make sure you tune in next week when we talk about the legacy of Allen Iverson. We are out. Peace.
Later, guys.